Hello and welcome back to Kirby Squeak Squad for the Nintendo DS. After successfully defeating the hardest boss in the game, we are going to end up being, starting off replaying a level that we did not do, but I have to show off again because, this was one of the failed takes that I had earlier.
Yay! Padding!
It's kind of padding. It's a different type of padding, though, because, again, we've not actually seen this particular level, at least commentary-wise.
I don't suppose that when you're interacting with the bottom screen that the top screen, like, pauses?
It does not.
Okay, so you have to do it in real time. Nice.
Yeah. But, honestly, that's fine. Squeak Squad is actually an easy title, as are a majority of the Kirby games. I would not say it's the easiest Kirby game, but I would put it, about in the middle of difficulty in general.
Yeah, it's very basic. It's very fun, I guess. So
yes, it's a very fun game.
Appropriate for the casual gamer.
Yes.
Indeed. Alright, go ahead.
And here we're showing off Laser once again, trying to do laser puzzles.
He looks like he's wearing that mirror that some like doctors wear on their heads. You know what I'm talking about? It's got like it's like strapped to their heads.
Yeah, it's supposed to be Cyclops' visor.
Yeah.
So what is new in the world of Cloud?
What's new in the world of Cloud is I'm going on vacation this weekend. Yay!
Ah.
I'm going to...
Now, what kind of vacation?
It's a camping vacation. We are expecting rain, though.
Ah.
Gonna be a big freaking party of us going.
But yes, that's where the big chest is in this level. And leave. Honestly, there's not a lot to talk. There isn't really all that much to talk about now that we've gone through what is the hardest boss in the game. But yes, if you collect chests that you have already collected, you will end up getting random bubbles. They can have power-ups or food items.
Nice. My God, this music is menacing.
Yes, it is menacing.
Why is it so...
I can't really hear the music that well because I have to have my audio a bit down.
Actually, now that you mention, I have my audio all the way up so I can hear the game.
Okay.
What is new in the world of Gerdat?
Well, he went out and pirated another copy of Dust and Elysian Tale because it's an awesome game that he sadly does not have money to just outright buy right now.
Nice.
And he went out and got a copy of Burnout Paradise.
Oh, Burnout.
And he has successfully finished the main campaign there.
I remember one Burnout game from the GameCube, but it didn't... What struck me about it is that it didn't seem to differentiate too far from, like, other racing games. Right.
That was probably either Burnout 1 or 2 then, because from Burnout 3 onward, the game is very much more about the car combat.
Car combat.
Yeah. It's why if you're gonna jump into the Burnout series, jump in with Burnout 3. The car combat is unquestionably the best part about Burnout, aside from the sheer sense of speed that you can get.
Yeah, definitely.
The sheer sense of speed that you can get in Burnout is pretty awesome.
Escape the cape might he is flying. He has a cape.
He's just repeatedly jumping. It's not real flight.
If he was wearing black, I would have called him Blade.
Honestly, if he was wearing black, he'd be closer to Wolverine.
I think it was the sunglasses. The sunglasses look very much like
Blade's,
like Blade's
yeah.
sunglasses.
Blade 1 is still an awesome movie.
Oh, it is. I like the movies where like they actually reveal the character's backstory instead of just assuming that you already know the backstory.
what ends up happening then, Cloud, is that all we end up getting is retold origin stories.
Well, that's why when you do a reboot, first you conduct a pros cons analysis, a break-even analysis. You see how many people need to come see your dumb movie. You make the dumb movie and you make your expected profits.
But I don't want to have it be called a dumb movie.
Well, no, you don't market it as dumb movie. That's just what you tell the movie theaters. That's the code name for it, so that people, when it leaks out, people are going to say, no, I don't want to see dumb movie. I want to see Captain Underpants.
But Captain Underpants is dumb movie.
Hey, don't nobody tread on my Captain Underpants. I love Captain Underpants.
When you were 6 and it was easy to read.
But now that I'm in my 20s, I'm gonna enjoy the movie as an adult, especially because one of the characters is voiced by Kevin Hart. I really am looking forward to that movie. I can't wait for that to come out.
I can. I only actually read like the first couple of books from Captain Underpants, and by the time I was reading them, I was already like 10-ish. So although they most certainly have a place in my childhood, it's not a very well-defined place.
I think my favorite one was the second one. It was the attack of the terrible talking toilets.
I don't remember that one. Mountain you, I don't have any specific memories of the first one either.
I remember my favorite part of Captain Underpants was just like the narrative style. Like it broke the fourth wall like all the time. But what I especially
Wheelie puzzle.
What I especially love in the DreamWorks adaptation that's still coming out is that Captain Underpants has his own superhero theme. Tra-la-la.
Is it really a full theme though? I would consider that just, a catchphrase.
I think it is a theme. It's just a very very brief theme.
Doesn't that technically just count as a soundbite then?
Well, I mean, you could say anything is a soundbite or a conglomeration of soundbites.
True.
How do I know that you're not just a soundbite, Gerda?
Oh, because I am able to respond directly to you in ways that you didn't fathom before.
Computer analytics, I tell you. I will not be fooled.
Sorry, I disabled Cheatbot a long time ago.
Go, Kirby, with your spark crown, electrocute all of the universe.
Yes. Unfortunately, I don't really know what mastering Spark does, although we already have Spark mastered. I assume what it mostly allows is the fully charged Spark attack. The problem with that being, of course, that the fully charged Spark attack still takes a while to charge up, and given how fast that I'm trying to play the game, we'll only get to see it a couple of times.
Yeah.
It is a very widespread havoc-inducing move, but it's just not really all that important.
Yeah, there are plenty of other substitutes.
Nah. And let me see, yeah, I go for metal here, don't I? Yep.
The boulders. The rolling boulders. What the?
I'm showing off a small a glitch that there.
Yeah, what the hell was happening?
We were still in our falling state, but we have reached the end.
I see.
But we have reached the end of the platform, so
Through the door.
alright, and another mini-boss. This is the Bubbles mini-boss. Here, there's a crab underneath that.
Looks like a very happy-looking crab. Oh, it's a little crab that moves very fast. We have cooked the crab.
Yes, and we're not using Bubbles because I dislike the Bubbles power-up in general.
bum.
It's not honestly a terrible projectile, but it's a projectile that I never feel the need to use.
Little Kirby. Hunk of meat. I like this theme music.
There we go.
Bum, 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 bum.
I'm not entirely sure what I'm supposed to be saying throughout this part, honestly.
Well, in commentaries, we usually have a plethora of options. One of the chief among them is total nonsense. Another thing is pertinent information about what's going on screen, like waddle-doos and didgeridoo's.
Very few didgeridoos are happening.
Treasure chest!
I will say that before each recording, I did a test playthrough of the level so that I could actually show off how the level is supposed to be handled. For the most part, I still screwed up a few times, like the boss fight against Krakow, which is why I edited out so many damn deaths.
You stun-locked him!
Yes.
He has relinquished his cheeseburger!
The obese Squeak is the easiest one of those to actually stun lock.
And
All of the Squeaks can be stun locked, but it's much simpler to do with the obese one. I think we get the secret door key here after this world. Yep.
secret map. Oh no, there's a secret map and a secret door key.
Yes, the secret map pieces for an area that you unlock after you collect all of the different secret map pieces. This level is interesting in the fact that you can, just complete the level and say goodbye, but that ruins the entire point of coming in here. Although, the maze-like structure of this stage is a small problem. It's not a large problem, but it is a small problem. And that's why they give you parasols, so you can just dash through there.
Now falling no, Kirby, you're supposed to hold the parasol up. Ow.
Not if you want to fall faster.
That is true. I can see why, especially because you're zooming through the game, you definitely want to just keep the parasol down. And then whack people with the parasol.
Yep.
Yeah, this reminds me of one of the late levels in Kirby's Dream Land.
It probably should, given the fact that Squeak Squad does reuse a lot of level themes from earlier games, as well as music pieces.
Uh-oh.
Avoid the giant boulders.
Rolling down. Avoid all the rolling boulders. And shoot the things on the walls. Damn, there's so much chaos.
Not so much chaos, really, just a lot of speed.
It's Prince Kirby.
Is this one that we're gonna have to come back to? I honestly forget.
Quickly, flee the Squeak. Cheeseburger.
Each of the Squeak minions that you defeat actually does drop a piece of food. It's a very easy way to keep yourself at max health going through this.
Yeah, because they don't necessarily want you to stick around and fight these guys. So naturally, exploits like that would be avoided by people who are just going by the intended game design.
Yeah, that's why this part is an additional 2 minutes long, because we gotta go back in.
And we gotta watch the Kirby's dance. We got Kirby's a ghost.
Yes, the ghost medal. The ghost medal will, when it's fully complete, unlocks the ghost power. The ghost power is very much a worse version of what used to be called the copy power. You can phase through enemies. Although it allows you to phase through enemies, the enemies are not necessarily that big of a threat. And when you attack enemies with the ghost power, you steal their copy ability.
Nice.
And that's really all there is to it. It's an interesting power. It's just not as powerful as say UFO or any of the other relatively rare powers like Hammer.
But does Kirby does Kirby put a bed sheet over his head that also has his face on it?
No. And it's segments like these that make me really miss the additional attacks that Kirby had access to in games like Superstar.
Yeah.
Because I could have just used the parasol to drill down there, but you know, I didn't have the ability to do that.
Or the boulder to just kind of like bombs. Bomber Kirby.
We do not have bombs mastered yet, so they have a smaller blast radius. I did jump cut past the end of the level though, so there.
Ah, you saved us a total of 3.5 seconds. Marvelous.
Probably 2 minutes, honestly.
Really? You were on that screen for 2 minutes?
Not on that screen, no, but I was in that level for another 2 minutes.
I like these remixes of previous Kirby level themes. This is
green. Is this Grape Garden? Question mark. I don't think it's green.
That was the weirdest use of destruction percussion I've ever heard in a music theme.
And with this particular puzzle room done, we got the laser scroll memorized. That allows us to charge up our laser attack into a heavy laser.
Heavy laser? Of course we have to get laser. Is the game nice enough to just give it to us right away?
No.
No, first we have to fight Alucard Squeak. Squeak-a-card.
No, not Alucard Squeak. We have to fight another version of Ludwig von Squeak.
Crap.
That is what I'm calling him, because he's the mad scientist Squeak.
Magnus von Squeak.
No, not Magnus. Magnus is from Chrono Trigger. Come on.
No, I'm talking Magnus von Grapple from Paper Mario 2.
I don't know who that is.
It is a robot that is piloted by a dope.
A goat?
A dope. A foolish person,
dope.
otherwise known as a moron.
An idiot, a simpleton, a person of less quality intelligence than ourselves.
A nincompoop. A fool!
A buffoon.
An ass.
Various other synonyms.
A stupid person.
We already used that one.
Did we?
And in the next part, we'll be moving on to World 5.